What we have here is a Moss WF series. But not just any Moss WF series. Oh no, this is different. You see the bits. Here's the finishes. You have bright brass, antique brass, white, brown, almond, which I've never seen, and chrome. Ew. So, yes. This is the box. Worth noting is it has a Bamberger's tag, which, if I remember correctly, was an ancient, long-defunct supermarket chain in the Philadelphia area. So what we have here is an old WF series. In fact, this is the oldest WF series. This is a first generation WF series. Some say it's world famous Moss ceiling fan. But yeah, WF series. Top mount spinner. 52 inch. This one's made by ViewFan. Some say new fan, golden fan. Guess what? It's all under the ViewFan umbrella. So that's what we're going with. ViewFan. This is the very earliest version of the WF series with a lower canopy, a regular bell canopy. Alright. Conical switch housing. Dazzle. But anyway, yes, so this is his first generation. The second generation looks pretty much just like this, except it has no lower canopy. It has a regular Moss bell canopy. Third generation, which we usually see, is the TAD version. You know, which looks like a G-Event spinner, basically. G-Event top mount, right? That TAD version is what we usually see. Those are nice, sure. Alright, it came in 5142, but right now we're talking about the first gen. Alright, of course there are a few subsequent generations of the WF as well, but we're not going to talk about this today. So this one, cast iron ViewFan motor. The motor is black. It is made in Hong Kong, not China, but Hong Kong, which means, yeah, production hadn't yet shifted. So this is probably one of the earlier ones, because I have another one that has a brown motor, painted motor, made in China, which means, yeah, they were still doing cast before they retooled stamped motors. So, yeah, this one's older because Hong Kong. Anyway, the motor looks to be about 172. It looks like the 48-inch motor, the small motor, or smaller motor, although that same motor was used with the 56 as well. It had wide blades, it had the big motor, which is probably greater than 188. So this one actually might actually be between 172 and 188, honestly. I'm not really sure. I need to measure it. I believe the blade pitch is 12, which is a little lower than what you normally see on a ViewFan, because real ViewFans have a blade pitch of 15. Alright, this one is 12. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's a Moss product, it's a relabel, it's not supposed to be the best. You know what I mean? They kept the good stuff for themselves. Every company did. Of course, there's a scratch on the motor housing that came right out of the box. That's cool. Alright, so yes. The tag on the motor says N101C, which is typical of the new fan labeled ones. Anyway, let's see what this does. Let's go to low speed first. As you can see, I got this one new in the box. Came from the Philadelphia area. Like I said, Bamberger's was an old department store chain. As far as I know, it was from the Philly area, so local store like Clover Discount Store and a few others like that. Of course, the actual price tag was, or cost was scribbled out because that would be too good. I'm not sure what the date is on it. I want to say maybe 82. That's my thinking. Although honestly, I'm not exactly sure. It could be 81, could be even be 80. I really don't know. I'm not really sure when the TAT version started coming out and this and that. It's really an unknown. TAT ones I want to say are early to mid 80s. But again, not really sure. So on low, it's an average low speed. Nothing too, not too aesthetically low or anything like that. It's average. It's okay. It does the job. Of course, when I got this, one of the blade irons was a little out of true, so I had to bump it downwards to kind of get them back into alignment. But so that kind of mitigated the initial wobble that it had. So if you get a fan right out of the box and it does that, you know, put your finger against the blade and the tip of the blade and see if they're all in line, because if they're not, if one's a little higher or lower, you'll be able to tell right away. And then you bump upwards or downwards longitudinally to, you know, get it back into true, back into alignment. Let's go to now medium. Another interesting thing is there's a little bit of a hum. It's not so much a hum as it is a harmonic hum. It's not more, or rather, not so much a buzz as it is a harmonic hum. This fan does have harmonics. Yeah, it's still wobbling a little bit, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. Now, as some of you might know, I am a View fan whore, so this, it's right up my alley. And when I got this, I think I got this back in 2019, so this is old backlog. Somebody else was trying to get it too. I wonder who that could have possibly been. I think his name started with D or something like that. I'll let you guess. But because I'm local, of course it went to me. Local always wins. Let's go to high. You can hear the harmonics. Yeah. So yeah, performance is excellent, even though it only has a 12-degree blade pitch. The speed of what's probably about 200 RPM makes up for the, you know, lacking in RPM, or lacking in blade pitch, sorry. So if it weren't for the harmonic hum, this thing would be dead silent. Especially on low speed, it really is dead silent. So the harmonics are on the higher end of the wavelength in terms of sound, so not bad. Although I like the ones that moan. Those are great. The spin down on this fan is probably not going to be all that great because the bearings have yet to break in. But they're not loud. This thing did sustain a tiny little bit of storage rash. Like the manual got eaten up by bugs or something, I don't know. But like, not bad. Nothing too terrible. No rust. No bad bearings, nothing like that. Anyway, so now it's coasted down. Nice and quick. We are now going to reverse. See what the reverse is, because like other View fans, these were industrial motors given wood blades, so they weren't really typically meant to reverse, which means, in other words, the speed range was not equal between up and down draft. Oftentimes you'll see a downdraft bias because, well, they're industrial motors made for, well, downdraft operations, so obviously they had a bias. However, this one does not seem to have that bias. This one seems to be pretty much equal, which is nice to see. I mean, if there's a speed difference, it's very subtle. Wobbles a little worse in updraft. For some reason I'm also starting to hear a cyclic flux buzz, but not sure if that's really buzz or if it's just wobbling and maybe I put the canopy a little too high. I would say that the speed range is equal between forward and reverse, which again, nice to see. It's nice to see that they actually designed the motor to have, you know, no issue with reversing. A lot of fans are weird in the sense that, you know, they'll run slower in reverse than they will in high, because the motors again were designed for downdraft only, and updraft was more of an afterthought. Let's now let it coast. Like SMCs, like Lagunas, they always run faster in updraft than they do in downdraft for some reason. Not really sure why. But then again, SMC was very weird. Other companies do it too. They'll run a little slower, but this one, equal. Nice. I'd love to find a brown one. I had a brown tat version, but, you know, like an idiot, I sold it. Somebody else has it now. Now I have a white version, again, 42-inch in tat, but, love to see an almond, love to see a chrome, you know, okay, I have the regular chrome coat up, so this one's whatever, but brown and almond would be interesting. And there you have it, a non-broken in MOS WF series made by Viewfan in the first generation.